Hi, it's April from the Noble Garden. Today is June 26, 2021, and this is my 7th garden tour of the year. I live in Central North Carolina, which is Zone 8A. I had to skip last week because I had to work, and I do apologize. I really haven't released much this week. I've actually been kind of sick, but I'm feeling good enough today to show you guys everything. So let's get started on the container garden. So these are my potatoes, what's left of them. You have noticed in one of my other videos, we harvest a little bit and we harvest a little bit more. We have a total of about 20 pounds between red and blue so far. And what's left to pick are still some blues. And then my Kennebacks are a white potato that take longer. So you'll notice their leafage still looks really good. But you'll notice that my leafage on my other potatoes are starting to die back. So this will be ready soon. These are the rest of the blues. I did put all of my determinate tomato plants in one area. So them here, you'll notice they are loaded with fruit, guys. And we've actually been able to pick some of these yellow tomatoes and we've been eating them. They're really good. We've been able to share with a couple friends that have enjoyed them and the family members that's enjoyed them. These are doing pretty good. These are 2 more blue containers. These are the ones that are dying back the most, so they're probably the next 2 containers that will be harvested. Along with my herb tower, that's doing really good. And here are 2 more buckets of Kennebacks. We have noticed we do have some blight going on with our potatoes, but we knew about it already. Here are a few extra tomato slips that I had that I decided to put in, and they're doing really good. And then here I'm trying this experiment. I put 2 peppers in a 5-gallon container. We'll see how that works out. Here's you a wide view of my tomatoes, and then we'll actually go down the rows and look at them. These tomatoes have been suffering a little bit. They do have some blight on them. I did remove as much of the leafage I could, and I did treat it with copper to try to manage it. They also don't like the extreme sunlight that they get. They get sunlight from like 10 o'clock in the morning until the sun goes down, and I think it really is affecting them. But look how big and beautiful and green they are. Last weekend, I did fertilize them with fish emulsion as well. There's our red basil. Look at this one. He's one of the ones that has trouble with it. He'll wilt at the top. But of course, right now, while the sun's not back here, you'll notice everything looks really pretty back here. As soon as that sun hits it good, they start to wilt a little bit. This one particularly. Look at those tomatoes. I can't wait to watch them ripen. This right here is some of the I planted them a little bit later, and they're looking good. They're gonna catch up with these guys. It's amazing when you plant things when it's warmer, how fast they catch up with the others. And this one right here, for example, I mean, he was really little. And look how big he's gotten already. I thought it was a cherry tomato, but looking at its little flowers that it's about to put off, that is not no cherry tomato, guys. That is going to be some type of big tomato. But that's okay. He's going to be our mystery tomato plant. Here are the peppers. Last time you saw them, guys, they weren't doing really good either. They got some fish emulsion as well. I sprayed them down with copper because they showed blight as well. They're looking much better, much greener, getting bigger. Some of them aren't doing as good, like this little runt here is still not looking the best. Speaking about disease, you can actually see it here, right there. On that leaf there. Let me see how close I can get up and see if I can really show you guys this disease here. See, that's what I'm dealing with on these tomato plants. I cut off what I can. And the only thing I can do is protect it. And the copper spray that I'm putting down is organic. It's not a pepper plant. So my white sunflower did pop up. I'm excited to see what it looks like. That's holy basil. Here's you another tomato. And these leaves have curled a long time ago on this plant. It doesn't seem to be affecting it though, because it keeps growing taller, and look, it's loaded with tomatoes. So all I can do is keep watering and giving it nutrition and hope it does okay. These are my biggest tomatoes so far. This is my Cherokee Purple, and it has 4 big tomatoes like this on here. My Cherokee Purple has really put off. So now we're going to start on a different type of tomato. So all the ones that you just saw were Cherokee Purple, and they're loaded. These last 2 right here are another 2 that are really struggling with having the sun directly on them. They don't do very good with it. It's really saddens me because I don't know what's going to happen, because they wilt real bad until nighttime. Like I said, of course they look beautiful right now, but as it gets later, they look like crap. It's my Paul Robeson. I've been dying to try it, and I don't know if I'm able to. He does have, 4 tomatoes on him, but I just don't know what he can do when he's stressed out all the time. I don't see how he could produce more or keep it together to even ripen these or make these bigger or anything. This one right here is an early girl, which is loaded with tomatoes, but she wilts as well. So I just don't know. I don't know, guys. Here's some more peppers. We bought a shade cloth, and what we're going to do is we're going to put a shade cloth over this area and just see if I take some of the bright sun off of them, the direct sunlight off of them, if that will help them, because that's what they seem to be struggling with. Some of these peppers have gotten big. You see that? And this one right here, which is a Jimmy, don't get me pronouncing these names, guys, today. Nardellos, this little red one. And it actually has a couple on there. See them? I try not to stress out too much about my peppers because I know they're late to take later. But as they get more green and get bigger, watching them get bigger makes me feel better. All right, we'll go down the last row of tomatoes. This was the last row I put in. They're doing good. You see some leaf curling. From my understanding, that is heat stress. I did mulch since the last time you guys saw one of my videos. I have read that I might have not mulched thick enough. So I'm going to try and mulch thicker as well and see if that will help them. I've been deep watering a couple times a week, even if it rains. I have a little tool that I put in the ground to see how wet the soil is. I feel like I'm doing everything I can, guys. Sometimes tomatoes are a mystery to me and I can't figure it out. But I'm trying really hard to figure it out. Here's another leaf of disease that I'm seeing. So I think it's blight. It could also be Septora. I'll put that name down here that I'm trying to think of. It's a leaf disease as well, spotted. Sepora spotted? I can't remember, guys. I will put that name down there for you guys to look at. Here is my watermelon patch is doing good. I need to come and weed and mulch some more, I guess. I feel like I put a thick layer of mulch on there, but then now as you see bare spots, I guess I didn't. But they're looking good. Look at the beauty of those, guys. They've been opening up this week. They're gorgeous. So those are those big transfers that I moved, remember? I transplanted them from another area. They're beautiful and tall. My onions, we are starting to harvest. I will probably remove them today or tomorrow. I need to prune my lavender because, as you can see, it's not as bright purple. The bees have moved on to other things, I've noticed. So I'm wondering if they're tired of the, like, I need to give them some more color. They're all over everything else now. Speaking of which, I see one in a cucumber flower. I think I gave them plenty to work with this year. All right, guys, here's the zucchinis. They're looking good. So far, I think I'm beating that cucumbers. I'm sorry. So far, I think I'm beating that squash borer. I bought a spray, which I'm being very careful with because I did read it can affect the bees. So I only put it on the bottom stem of my squash plant and the soil around it, trying to keep the borer eggs and the borer from killing my plant. You can see in there, I am dealing with the footed leaf hopper though. I sprayed him with neem oil. There's not as many as there was, so maybe it did help. But look, there's some zucchinis growing there. They look good. Here are my green beans. We actually were able to eat some this week and they were so tasty. This bolting broccoli is almost ready for me to harvest its seeds and get it out of my garden so I can stop seeing it. Talking about green beans, guys. These right here, look how beautiful that is. That is a green bean, guys. That is a rattlesnake green bean. And let me tell you, they are delicious. So they're purple and green like that, but when you cook them, they turn green. They're only green. Look at the bee. I like to watch them work. I think once I've come up out here, so you're gonna see still some cabbages in there. I just haven't got to it yet. I'm gonna remove these last few cabbages in here. They're not doing good anyways. I'm gonna put in some more green beans down that row, try to get a thicker wall of green beans growing, and probably put in some more zucchini, because in a minute I'll show you some squash and some more corn. But yeah, there's the remainder of those. So this right here is my cantaloupe, and as you can see, I have one growing. I actually have a few more, but they're not that big yet, and I don't see them off the top of my hand here. But guys, I'm constantly reminding this thing it needs to grow up. I'm constantly picking it up and reminding it needs to grow. This honeydew over here is taking off too. These pea plants, you see how dead they look? I actually cut the bottoms earlier this week, and I just got to come out here and finish taking them off. So here's my pumpkin, getting taller. You'll notice here that this is wrapped with the noodle beans. The noodle beans have taken off on both sides. There's noodle bean flowers. They're purple like that. They're beautiful. So I just got to come out here and finish taking these peas down so these noodles can take over. But here are a couple of squash. So that's a squash that was really attacked by borers. I sprayed it down and put more soil over it because I remember reading that somewhere, and it didn't die. So maybe I figured something out. We'll know soon. Here is my corn. It is starting to, those heads that develop, I'm going to show you the other thing that develops, and that's what makes the corn. So the top part of the corn has this stuff that looks like rice. Hopefully you can see that. It looks like rice. And it needs to make it down into this. And that will pollinate it. I'm not saying that I just pollinate it, but I'm telling you that stuff needs to go down there. And one way to make it do that is to take some of it like that and do that, because it doesn't really do a good job when it's not that many corn. So we're actually down the cucumber aisle as well. They have gotten bigger. They're not the best. They're good climbers, but you have to train them like you do everything else. So I am weaving them through as I see them laying down. And they're doing an okay job. We've eaten a few cucumbers lately, actually, and they taste really good. Here are a few more squash. You can see a few baby ones that I put in, and these did not look good. I really thought borers took them over, but they may have not. Another look at the green beans, guys. See, I want more. I want a thick wall of green beans, so I'm going to come out here and put some more green bean seeds. Here's the nutrition. And that is a regular green sweet basil. My cucumbers, and if you look, actually, you can see 3 babies right there. Alright guys, one thing I wanted to show y'all right quick is I grow personal sized melons up these trellises, and they do need support. The thing about cantaloupe is when they're ready, they just fall off the vine, and you don't want them falling and hitting the ground. So what I have done is I have bought these little, I call them onion bags. You know, you get these from in grocery stores. The onions come in them. I got these off Amazon. I could put a link in my description for you guys so that you see what I bought. But let me show you how I use them. So I just open up the bag. You put the melon in it. And then you just tie the melon to the trellis. And what that does for me is when that melon's ready, it's gonna fall off and it's gonna be inside this bag. So all I gotta do is come in and cut the bag off, and the melon will be in the bag and ready for me to pick. So there you go, that's how I do personal melons on a trellis. All right, here's the other part of the tour. These are my big chickens, eating their scratch as always, healthy as always. They're funny little things. The thing that they're doing that's new is they were laying me 4 eggs every day and doing a good job at it. And lately, they've only been doing 3. I don't know if the humidity and the hot is stressing them out or what's going on. I did notice Georgia being a little punk to one of them while they were laying, so I don't know if that's got to do something with it. But other than that, they're healthy. And everybody, here are the baby chickens. They are spending time outside, and what I did was I moved their little baby cage inside of the run. I cover it up on top so the big chickens can't get in them. But this is my way of letting the big chickens and little chickens get to know each other, because honestly, most of these big ones are coop ready. I'm waiting for Stella to get a little bit bigger. I want Peanut Butter and Stella to get just a little bit bigger before I release them to be outside. But everyone's doing good. Hope you guys enjoyed the tour and the update. I want to thank everybody for watching. And remember, if you like my videos, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.